In the 1940s, World War II kicked off, and the Nazis was then trying to dominate Europe. The Allies came together and decided, you know what, enough is enough. So let's put a stop to this. Now, Nazis started getting desperate, and this is when they decided to build something called Valentin. Valentin is a submarine bunker. This bunker is one of the biggest structures created by the Nazis to help them in the war against the Allies. Luckily for us, this was not successful, but the bunker was built, and today I'm here to explore and show you a bit more about what this bunker looks like. So stick with me, let's have a look and find out what really happened when the Nazis decided to build this bunker called Valentin. Also, here to find out why the bunker was built and how it got stopped. So there's some information here. The Navy had designed the bunker, codenamed Valentin, as a bomb-proof submarine shipyard. More than 10,000 forced laborers from across Europe worked on the construction site from 1943 to April 1945. Over 1,600 died from the tough work and conditions in the camp. No submarine was ever built in Valentin bunker. In 1964, the Federal Navy set up a storage facility here and declared it a restricted area. So east of the bunker construction site, a total of 5 camps were set up for concentration camp prisoners, POWs, civil war laborers, Gestapo prisoners, and Italian military detainees who were used to build the bunker. So a lot of forced labor was used in building the Valentin bunker. So this picture shows what, during the construction, what it looked like for the prisoners of war and those who were in forced labor. Now, this is all zoomed out, and this goes all the way down. It's over 400 meters long, the bunker. And this is, well, it's for submarines, so I'm not really surprised that it is this big. But apparently it's also this big to withstand any bombing from the Allied forces. So I'm currently inside the bunker itself. So today you're allowed to go inside, and to be honest, it feels really eerie because it's this really vast space with thick concrete beams. So here we are. So you can book a guided tour through here and have a look inside the bunkers of itself. Some of the areas are closed off to the public due to safety reasons. Look at that. Wow. This is really something else. Guys, this place is really amazing. And just the lighting shows you the size of this place, man. Just the size of it is unreal. So the Nazis really thought they were doing great because, so this was the Minister of Propaganda. When he visited the site in 1944, he thought, yeah, this is looking good. We're winning, but it wasn't enough. So in March 1945, when the bunker was almost complete, only needed a few reinforcements in the ceiling. Air raid by the British Allied forces on March 27 saw 2 bombs penetrate the section of the roof. And this is what we're not sure again if you can see it on camera, but some massive holes there with the light just coming through. That's where the British forces or the Allied forces came through and destroyed this place, stopping the Nazis in their tracks. But everywhere in here they got loads of information about this place. And the crazy thing about this place, it's actually free to enter. So they tell the stories about the POW, the people who built it, and other information like that you could find. It's really helpful if you come here. And also there's a big tour you could do around. So it's a 1.5 kilometer tour around the whole building itself. I'm not sure if I'll get onto that today, but I am inside at the moment. So one of the main reasons why they built this bunker was the Federal Navy thought that building submarines will be able to cut off the Allied supplies across the Atlantic by using the Type 21 submarines. Now, this was by the Reich Minister of Armaments and Munitions from 1942. And he gave the go-ahead for the construction of the Valentin submarine shipyard, as they call it in those days. Today it looks like a lair. Like if a body was to have a lair, this is what it would look like. This place is dark. So I'm not sure if you guys could see, but we'll have a better look later on. Maybe there's like some water there. So I believe, so they would build a submarine around this area and deploy it in the water there, and then possibly straight onto the river, from the river out to the sea. So within every 56 hours, the Nazis had a plan to get submarines out the door. So everything was prefabricated from different parts of around this area, so Bremen, Hamburg, and Gdansk, which is in Poland. And the production process determined the length, height, and width of this bunker. Someone underwater. Oh no, what's this? Yeah, I don't know. So we're back outside. But before we go, look at this. Look how thick these walls are. Look at them. And this is just like the door entrance. And if we look, we'll see. So yeah, so look at that. Valentin Bunker is one of the most visible buildings or legacy left by the Nazis. This is the one that you could actually see. I think the other one is like a fuel depot. Let's cut through here. Fuck, I almost fell down. Damn it. But if you can see there, the size of that roof, the thickness of that concrete, and yet the bomb was able to come through and make a massive hole in there. Oh yeah, this is where the water is. To wonder how deep is this water. Jeez, man. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be swimming in that water for sure. Alright, let's see where this will take us now. There's a path meant to follow, but I think I've lost track of where I am or where I'm supposed to go, because the place is so damn big, and because there's not a lot of people or money in it at the moment. There's no people to just ask for help. You're kind of allowed. The good thing is, when you come here to visit, you're allowed to explore as much as you can, in a sense, and to provide a lot of information about what it's like here or what people experience. So they have information about the prisoners and how they were treated and so on. They were barely given any food. So as you can imagine, the forced laborers didn't have a good time here. And they also had plans to sabotage the plans that the Nazi had. So they tried to sabotage the production process. So what they did was, when the concrete was being piped through, they had to put clay in there. So normally they'll put too much clay in there, causing it to block and the pipes to burst. And then this would stop production for a while. But of course, if anyone got caught, they were severely, severely punished. So this is one of the ways the people who are here as prisoners, forced laborers, they try to maybe get a break from this or even stop production in their own way, because they were under terrible conditions whilst building the Valentin bunker. This is so big, I've lost my bearings here. But this is a picture of what it looked during this construction. Nothing like today. Ah, that was closing me out. Alright, so a lot of it is quite fenced off. So during the days it's not open, it's hard to get in. I almost came here when it was closed, and to be honest, if I did come and it is closed, I would have jumped the gate, because I'm not going to drive all this way for me to be denied a chance to see this place. Most of the forced labor for Valentin came from countries like Poland, Soviet Union, also Italy, Greece, Algeria, Spain, Belgium. So really quite a different set of people that was forced to work here to build this. So as you can imagine, there wasn't just men here, there were girls as well, doing different tasks, of course, for what they had to do here. The ages range here from 15 to 60, so really and truly, the Nazis didn't care who they had, they just wanted people. While just behind me is the Valentin bunker, to the other side is where the river is. This was the Nazis' master plan here. If you have a look, the close proximity of the bunker and the river is right there. So we'd have gone out on the river up to the North Sea. Behind me is where the prefabricated submarines that came from Bremen or Hamburg or Gdansk would have entered before getting assembled to be sent out to the North Sea. And as you can see, this is a sizable hole. This is really, really big. So it does give you an idea how big a submarine really is. You know, they have this was built on purpose for building submarines, and this is what the entry gate would look like. As you can imagine, a place like this would be heavily guarded. So they were guarded by German soldiers, or they call them commandos. And of course, if anyone got caught trying to escape, your fate would be dealt with. I guess death would have become easier to you in that sense. The Valentin bunker is one of the most interesting places in Germany because it is one of the largest bunkers in Germany. Also one of the largest freestanding bunkers, covering over 3,500 square meters. It is approximately 426 meters long, 97 meters wide, and 27 meters high. The walls in some places are up to 4.5 meters thick. And this was built on purpose to stop the Allied forces from not stopping the construction, but stopping the production of the Type 21 submarines. It's also known that the engineer responsible for building the bunker was called Erich Lackner. He was only 29 years old when he got the go-ahead to build the bunker. Now, as late as 1981, he was still being praised for his engineering achievements or his engineering design. However, he then said that he didn't know what the working conditions were like, or even if he was aware of it, it was the same for everyone. Whether this is true or not, it's really hard to believe that the main engineer will be treated the same as POWs of war. Now, one of the things I do to recognize that happens, or what they've done here, is that on most of the blue plaques, so on most of these where there's information, they have some also on the floor, and they would put like what side of the construction we were on or where the supplies came from. And one of the things that they like to do here is to spell out what companies were involved. Now, some of these companies that I don't know, but one of them that I do know is Siemens. So they're saying that Siemens and MAN also had offices around here. So Siemens and MAN were, say, kind of partaking in building the bunker. We have to understand that they might have been under a different set of pressure. We're not sure what the situation was like. So even spelling these companies out and maybe trying to make them feel bad for partaking in this, it's a bit of a stretch, because they might have been under some other pressure from the Third Reich to provide the services, or else. We never know. However, yeah, put the names there, not sure what it's going to do, but it's very interesting that they've decided to do it like that. So yeah, that's it, really. It's an interesting place, what men would do, or what armies would do to turn the war in their favor, using POWs, building massive bunkers for submarines and so on. And if you're interested in that type of stuff, definitely come along and have a look. They provide a lot of information about what Valentin bunker was about. Hi cat, hello. Showing you what the POW went through and stuff like that. So it is a place of interest to visit near Bremen. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. I hope you like the content. Subscribe, leave a comment below, let me know if you would visit a place like this. Thank you. Ciao.